everybody, welcome to the rod shop, the real-time custom rods, real-time fishing. I'm doing another rod today. It's for the American Heart Association. I donated a rod for the Heart Ball. That's an event they have every year. I'm sure they have them throughout the country, but they have one here in my hometown. And I donated a rod. It's a 7'2" medium fast North Fork Composites, one of those Gary Loomis companies. And I'm going to be laying that rod out. I'm using these LZR guides, and I've got a custom grip there I made that I'll be sanding down a little bit more. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to do a little, probably a little reverse chevron on this. I've talked to the gentleman that won they auctioned these off. And the guy that was successful in the silent auction, I've talked with him and he's told me the colors he wants and everything. So I'm probably going to get y'all included. The guides are the guides, laying those out. There's nothing hard about that. And I'm going to probably get y'all included in on the video here about how I do lay out the actual chevron and give a little more detail that I've done in the past. So y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, I want to go over a little bit more about how I lay out my chevrons. A lot of times on YouTube I get on there looking for real simple stuff, especially when I was starting out and I really couldn't find the answer. There's a couple of ways of doing this. This is just the way I do it. What I do is I measure the circumference of the diameter of the base. The particular rod I was working on, the diameter was 13.16 millimeters. I need the circumference. I then multiply that times pi, 3.1415, and I get a total circumference of 41.34. Circumference of the rod at the base. That I need the midpoint of that so I can get the top and the bottom of the rod. In other words, if this is the rod, I need here and I need here to do a chevron. So I'll then divide my total circumference in half, and I get 20.67, which gives me the dead center bottom. I then take out a piece of painter's tape and I will mark these numbers off. This total is 41.34. From here to here is 20.67. And from here to here is 20.67. I then take this piece of tape and I will put this mark right here at the top of the rod. And I will put that piece of tape all the way around it. And where this mark is bottom of the rod. That gives me top and bottom. Of course, when you lay out your chevrons, there's a lot of people go straight by the circumference. I like to stretch mine out a little bit. There's a tapered offset program. If you Google rod building taper offset, I'm sure it'll come up. And you have to give it several measurements, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty intuitive how to do that. And it's easy to walk through. And then you can actually put in there how many of these crosses you want. If you've got a 12-inch pattern and you want to put 6 crosses, it will give you the diameter around that rod at those points. So anyway, here's how I do it. In a nutshell, it's the easy way for me. Now the other way to do it is you can take this piece of tape and you can put it on the rod, mark the top, then take the tape off the rod, fold it in half, and at the halfway point is the bottom, and you put a mark there, then you put it back on the rod. Both work. I just like doing the math and working with math. It's easier for me than these big old fingers trying to get this piece of tape back off the rod, fold it in half, marked, and put it back on the rod without destroying it. So anyway, that's what I got. If you got any questions or anything in the comments, leave me a question in the comments, I should say, and I'll try to answer it best I can. Okay, what I basically did is I marked the top. I figured the circumference. I took the diameter times 3.1415, and then I multiplied that times the diameter times that number, and it gave me the circumference. I laid my piece of tape down for the total circumference, and then I just divided that by half and made another mark. So now those marks, there's one on top and there's one on bottom. So what I'll do now is I'll take this little handy dandy marker or handy dandy layout tool, and I'll take the figures from my tapered offset and I'll lay it out, and I'll go ahead and get that done, then I'll come back. But that's basically how I lay it out. You only have to do it on one end as opposed to two, because this is the top of this whole rod, no matter what the circumference is at the tip end versus the butt end. Okay, I've got everything laid out. Got my marks where I want them. Got a little sloppy down here. I've got one of those chalkboard markers or something. The tip's way too fat. If you hold it too long down, it'll get too much ink on it. But anyway, got it laid out. I'm going to put my first line of thread down, and I will basically hit my marks just like a typical old chevron. This is my first pass. He requested blue. The gentleman that's getting the rod. Just to move it along a little bit. First layout is the most important. Everything builds off of that. So I come and I make sure I got everything like I want it. This one's off right here. Okay, the other color he wanted was blue, so I'm gonna run a string of blue now. And to get your chevron to point toward the tip, you put your initial string down, then you run everything else going from left to right on top of that string. And then when you come back and make you turn toward the butt, you go below that string. That's how you point the chevron in a direction that you may want it to go in. If you want it to go the other way, of course you would come down on the south side of this string, or the bottom, and come back on the top. But to me, my line of thinking is, when I'm holding my fishing rod, everything is going from the butt handle, the reel, to the tip. So I want my chevron pointing that way. No right or wrong, just personal preference. Okay, I got a blue and a couple of greens down. I'm gonna, since this is the point of that chevron, I'm gonna give it a little bling here. I'm gonna put some metallic silver in here. And I don't know, I may run a couple of these, because like I said, that is the point of this chevron, the very tip. And I think it'll give it a really nice look. Don't want to put too much, because I don't have it anywhere else on the rod. I've got this blue and green on the guides. This tinsel, metallic tends to be a little stretchy, so you got to be careful with your tension because you'll get it too much and it'll spring back on you. Starting to get that a little bit on me right there. Okay, I'm going to try to run 4 at a time here. This is kind of a serrated looking thread. I don't really know the name of it. There is a name, I just don't know what it is. Okay, I'm coming back with 4 green this time. And I may do another 4 green. I'm not sure. I'm going to do at least 2 more before I switch back to blue. I'm only dealing with basically 2 colors. Rod building is something else. I'm not typically a very patient person. But there's something about this rod building and these threads going together that's relaxing. I could sit here and do it. And if you'd told me, or asked me if I was going to be doing something like this, sitting in a room by myself, I'm kind of a people person. You asked me I was going to sit here by myself and wrap rods all day, or a lot of the day, I wouldn't have believed it myself, but it just brings out a patience in you. You've got that desire to make it as good as you can. It just brings out a patience in you that's not there always with me. I think I'm going to do 4 more of these greens, which would be 8. Then probably do 4 blues. I'll just alternate it, get it tapering down. And so I plan on doing an open reverse chevron. So I don't know how far I'm going to take it. Okay, I'm running my second run of green down here. Like I said, this will make 8 threads. Sorry I keep putting my hand in front of the camera, but it's just habit to pack that as I go with my other hand. Okay, I'm coming back with 4 of the blue. When I first got started, I was real anxious to get good at this. You can't get good at it so fast. And I've gone back and redone a lot of the first decorative wraps I tried to do. One way to do it was to jump out there, and I was actually putting them on personal rods. I wasn't doing them for anybody. But I would recommend going and getting, some people use wooden dowels. I tried that, but thread didn't slide just right on wood. I saw someone else talking about using PVC pipe, like 1/2-inch pipe. If you can get even a 3/8 would be even better. Something about the size of a rod. It's kind of got a slick texture to it, like a fishing rod. Okay, I've run some blue, 8 runs of green, and 4 of blue. I'm gonna run just a 1 or 2 threads of green now. And one thing I've got to work on is I don't write any of this down. I just look at it, and what I think looks good, I go with it. I would like to think there's a little bit of method to my madness. Other than eyesight, it's really not. I'm trying to keep these videos, some of mine got really long. So I started fast forwarding through a lot of them and trying to figure out a way to make them a little more educational and entertaining at the same time. I think instead of starting and stopping so many times, you got to do some of that, but I may just speed some of these up a little bit and go a little bit faster than I normally go, which I've already done some of that, but I know for myself, when I watch a YouTube video, I tend to, it's over about 20 minutes or so. It kind of takes a back burner to me. Depending on what it is. So I try to keep them to around 20 to 25 minutes. So in order to do that, I'm gonna have to fast forward through a lot of this. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Y'all stay with me. I think I'm gonna put one more. I think I'm gonna turn now, start reversing the chevron. I think I'm gonna run one more piece of this, or one more thread of this metallic. Okay, I think I'm gonna reverse this now. And the first color before was blue, so I'm gonna go back with the blue. The way, of course, you do the reverse, you start at this end. And when we did the original chevron, you're always going on the outsides. In other words, you're going on the top of the thread, going down, and bottom of the thread coming back, which is basically the outsides of the pattern. It's the same way now, except for you've got to start at the other end. always go left to right. This is right to left. Okay, and then again, I don't know that I've got an exact science to this, and I'm trying to reverse or do the same thing coming back that I did going to the right. Now that I'm going left, and I can tell you it would be helpful if I had written it down. So, just word to the wise. So I'm continuing to just reverse on this second chevron, or the reversed what I did on the first one. Also, I'm pretty bad about not saying what I'm supposed to say and about subscribing, but if you please would, if you like what you see, hit that like and that subscribe. Leave me a message, ask me a question. All that helps the algorithm show my videos. Again, I'm certainly not in this for the money by any stretch of the imagination, but I've said it before, I'm the kind of guy that likes to work with goals, and I like to have a goal in mind, and to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. I've got about 405 or 6, I think. So I got a ways to go, and I've got to have some watch time hours too. So anyway, if you like the videos, like what you see, got a question, hit like, hit subscribe, and you can ask me anything. If I don't know the answer, I will certainly try to find it. Okay. Section of green here going down. Four threads. Quite honestly, folks, if you have time to do them one thread at the time, it does make for a little bit better, more decorative chevron. The point is a little more pronounced, and don't always have time, especially if it's a closed chevron where I'm running a lot of thread. I don't know how much detail showing up on this camera, but you can see this chevron here. You got 4 overlapping, and if it was you running singles, you'd have 1. Gives you a little more. Okay, I'm going back with a 4 blue now. See, I'm trying to mirror this other side best I can. To be honest with you, this is a little different than what I would normally do. He requested these colors. I tend to load it up with different colors, but I really like this. I mean, it's what I do of it. It's different than what I would normally do, but I like it. Okay, getting ready to put a little epoxy on this sucker. She is basically done. Now comes the really slow part, the epoxy. It came out alright for a reverse chevron. I think it looks pretty good. If you don't like what you see, like I said earlier, like, subscribe. I'd sure appreciate it. Y'all hang with me until the next one. I'll have another video out real soon.